So for this next video I'm going to do the SMGs. So you've got the Backfire, you've got the Lady Death, and you've got the Chatterbox. So starting with the Backfire, it says for only those who have suffered may decree the suffering of others. That's from an Outcast creed. This is a really good SMG. It's got 121k, so it's got quite high weapon damage, base damage. It's got 850 RPM, so it's quite high. 56 mag. Comes with SMG damage, crit chance, and magazine size. So you get an extra 12% magazine size, which takes it up. And then the talent payment in kind. Dealing damage to enemies adds a stack of 1% critical hit chance up to 200 stacks lasting 10 seconds. On reload, apply a 10-second bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per stack. So you can get up to 200% critical hit damage. So if you're using a high crit damage build, rather than stacking crit damage on your gear pieces, you can put critical hit chance and other stuff, because you're going to get the crit damage from the stacks you're getting from the Backfire. I've put a build together which I've done a video on, and it has an 87% bleed resistance, which means I'm getting next to no damage from the reload, and that's because I put hazard protection and bleed resistant mods on most of my gear. It is a really good SMG. It's probably my favourite of the three, but it's something I like to play with, and it's a general loot pool item. So you just look for SMGs on the targeted loot. But also, like the Memento, if I go to the Seasons Pass and I go to the track and I go up to level 55, you'll see that it is available on the Seasons track at level 55. So when that starts tomorrow, once you reach that level, you'll be able to get the Backfire. So it'll be a slightly easier way of getting to it. Moving on to the Lady Death. The quote is, "Can't take our freedom, that's a lie. Your freedom can always be taken. The only thing standing between you and tyranny is the barrel of your gun." And that's from a 2A enthusiast. Not quite sure what 2A is, but it says it there. It's got a lower base damage than the Backfire, a higher RPM, and only 32 in the magazine. The attributes: SMG damage, critical hit chance, damage to armor, and then the talent is breathe 3. When moving, gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks if sprinting, up to 32 stacks total. Each round fired consumes a stack, amplified damage by 75%. Kills grant 20% movement speed for 10 seconds. I know this is a favourite SMG for a lot of players from the Dark Zone. I've never really found a build for it. I don't do a lot of Dark Zone, so it's definitely not something I look in that respect. But if I ever do find a build, then I can, or I probably will, make a video on it. It's not one of my favourite. It's not my favourite SMG. As I said, the Backfire is my favourite of the three of them, but it works well for other people, especially when they're finding a way to have the breathe 3 talent optimised. And then moving on to the Chatterbox, it's got a quote from Dime which says, "They say I never know when to shut the hell up, but that's just the spice talking." Again, it's got a slightly higher base damage than the Lady Death, 700 RPM and 60 in the magazine. Attributes: SMG damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and then the talent Incessant Chatter. When you reload, rate of fire is increased by 20% for each enemy within 15 meters for the duration of that magazine. Maximum stacks 5. Kills refill 50% of your magazine. It's a pretty good talent. You'll notice when the rate of fire has increased, because it's a really speedy sound you get rather than the usual sound from when you first firing it. You'll soon notice it, and it feels a lot quicker. This one you have to get from hyena boxes, so you get the exotic components for it from the hyena boxes in Federal Triangle, Judiciary Square, and Downtown East, I think it is, or Downtown West. Once you've got them, you get a blueprint from bank headquarters, and then you can craft it. Once you've done that, it'll drop in the open loot, or the open world loot, and you just look for SMG on the day in question. Going back to Lady Death, again, it drops, or it's meant to drop, from named bosses in New York or Washington DC. However, you only get a named boss every 30 minutes, and sometimes finding them where they're meant to be spawning can be a bit of a pain. I normally go to one that's around the corner from Wall Street in New York. I haven't ever got the Lady Death myself from a named boss. However, I have had someone drop it for me. So they're the ways you can get those 3 weapons: Backfire, Lady Death, and the Chatterbox. I will catch you in the next video.